Hi everyone, this is Vipin here. It's been a long time since I've made a post on my blog. As some of you know, I was away on a 10-day course, a meditation course called Vipassana, and I've been wanting to talk about it for some time now, and it's just that it's been around 2 months for me to find time to actually sit down to create this video post. Before I went on this course, I had a lot of expectations on what this course was going to do for me. I had a belief that it's probably going to give me direction in life. It's going to be this big turning point and turning episode in my life, and I'm going to get a sense of life purpose. Well, the fact is that none of that really happened. That doesn't mean that the course did not help me. It did immensely help me. But not in the way or the manner in which I expected it to. Well, it all started, I went back home for this holiday, left home on a morning, packed my bags, reached the Vipassana Meditation Center in a place called Igatpuri, which is around 2 hours drive from the city of Mumbai. When I reached there, it's one of the most beautiful campuses that I've seen. Lush green. It was the peak of what we call the rainy season in India. So the campus was lush green, beautiful, lots of people. We were asked to deposit all of our stuff there, including any reading material, internet, phones, mobiles. What we had to do for the next 10 days was what they called practice noble silence. Now, noble silence is beyond just not talking. Apart from not talking, you also kind of refrain from any gestures, making any kind of gestures to fellow meditators. So there were times during the course where I would walk on the street with my head down, with my eyes focused on the ground. So it was much more than what I expected it to be. Of course, you didn't have any books to read, no internet, no mobile. The whole idea was that you had to have an unadulterated experience to know what it actually felt like to practice this technique of Vipassana. Well, I went there, got settled down, we all got allocated rooms, pretty livable rooms. I've shared some photographs on this post for you to have a look at. Good living conditions. We started the meditation course. The first 3 days, they make you focus on your mind, and it's scary almost. The practice is called Anapana, and all you do is you concentrate on your breath, and not just concentrate, but concentrate between the lower portion of your nostrils, starting here up until here. So all you're doing from a meditation perspective is trying to observe your breath going in from here up until here and coming out. Now, this may sound very easy, but trust me, when you sit down to do it, you would be amazed at how unstable our minds are. When I started this on the first day, it was scary. My mind wouldn't stay in one place for more than 2 seconds. The moment I started to observe my breath, it would run away to all kinds of things, have all kinds of thoughts. It was simply unbelievable. By the 3rd day, I became slightly better at it, and it was fascinating to see that as you keep practicing this, your mind learns, and you can train your mind to actually concentrate on what and where you want it to concentrate on. Nevertheless, the whole point about the first 3 days was to help sharpen your mind in preparations to the actual Vipassana technique. Now, after the 3rd day, on the 4th day, they start teaching you the technique of Vipassana. And Vipassana quite literally means to look at things as they literally are, without having any cravings, any aversions towards what it is. And what Vipassana essentially is they want you to observe these sensations in your body. Now, these sensations can be of any nature, It could be heat, cold, pain, scratching, irritation, any kind of sensation. The whole idea is to observe and just become aware of this sensation. What is important is that when you're observing this, you have to maintain equanimity. Equanimity in the sense that you should not have a craving if it's a sensation which you like, and at the same time you should not have an aversion if it's something which you don't like. The whole idea being that you need to become aware of what it is. Now, this was slightly difficult because we're doing 10 hours of meditation in a day. It's not continuous, but 1 hour and then a break, and then maybe 2 hours and then a break. But even to sit 1 hour, trying to just observe your sensations is far difficult than you would imagine. And trying to do this for 10 hours in a day, I can tell you there were times when I thought I was going crazy. I would go back into my room during the breaks and think to myself, what the hell am I doing here? The first few days I was talking to myself because we weren't allowed to talk to anybody else. And it was so strange, it was almost scary, because you tend to see your thoughts as if you were talking to yourself, even though you're not actually speaking. And it's scary because at times it gives you and opens up areas which you never knew existed in you, and you wonder, oh my God, why do I think this way? On the other hand, you also have time to say, oh my God, I'm actually capable of generating these kind of thoughts. So that was very interesting for me as well. What I found to be easy, to be honest, before I went, I thought, 10-day meditation course, no speaking, noble silence and all of that, and I thought that's going to be pretty difficult. But to be honest, personally for me, the noble silence was the easiest during the 10 days. I know if I mentioned, you don't get dinner, so the whole idea is the last meal of the day for people who do the first time course is an evening snack or a tea, which is around 5 o'clock, and then you don't get anything till the next day morning, 7 o'clock. So that was not as difficult as I thought, because I thought I can't go without a meal a day. Next, I thought, meditating 10 hours a day might be very difficult. It was tough on the first few days, but then once you get used to it, your mind starts kind of obeying you. What was not easy was trying to sit in one place and meditate. Your legs would ache, your back would ache, your heart would ache at unimaginable places. And the point is, it would not pain in the same place every hour or even every day. It would pain in different places. Trying to, concentrate and get your mind to think, it's amazing how little control we have over our minds. We all like to believe that we are, masters of our own destiny and we decide what we do, but when it comes to the mind, when you actually practice this technique, you will see that you have very, very little control over your mind. Your mind just goes from one place to another. So that was quite a bit of a challenge to me. And lastly, I think one of the things that happens is when you are observing a sensation, a lot of times you have an itching sensation, there's pain, there's a temptation to go and, like literally scratch the place where you have the itching sensation. And when you don't do it, you observe that after a while, the sensation goes away. And that's the whole philosophy of Vipassana, is that nothing is permanent in this world. We practice what we call impermanence. So, like we all believe that good times don't last, bad times don't last. The whole philosophy of Vipassana is that of impermanence, which is things don't come to stay. So nothing's real in this world. Maybe a bit too much for a lot of us to think about it. A few other things that I learned is unfortunately on the 4th or 5th day I fell quite ill, and I had to take some antibiotics, and I could not really eat much, and I really felt what it means to be hungry, because on a day, I think it was the 5th or 6th day, I couldn't even eat lunch, so I went without food for almost 18 to 20 hours, and I couldn't sleep. And that's the day I realized how important and thankful we should be for having food to eat. There are so many people in this world who don't have basic food to fill their stomachs, and they go to sleep on maybe a glass of water or worse. So in the end, I came back from the course after 10 days. I do think I enjoyed it. Do I think and I'm suddenly become enlightened? Far from it. Have I changed? I do think so. I've changed. In subtle ways, like I said in the beginning, it's not been one of those life-transforming experiences or anything of that sort, but it's brought to the forefront a lot of things which I did not know about myself. I'm more aware of my thoughts. So every time there's a negative thought that comes to me, I somehow seem to have become more aware of it, and I am at least able to see it so that I can decide that I should not be thinking in that direction. So all in all, I think it was a great experience for me. Do I recommend it that you guys go out and do it? Absolutely yes. As I've said in the past, it's a course which everybody I think should do, but not everybody can do it. We know, and we were told that there are many people who actually left on the third day because they couldn't take it, because it gets to you. And to be honest, I did think about it a couple of times, and I just get up here. What am I doing here? Why am I doing this? But in the end, I decided to stick it out, and I'm happy that I did, because I think it's absolutely worth it. Now, of course, everybody's experiences will be different than mine. So what I've shared is purely my experience. It's been quite liberating for me. I've got a little bit more direction in where I want to go. So I think, definitely if you are keen on doing something like this, go for it. Even if you cannot go and visit Vipassana meditation centers, which, for your information, there's a lot of centers across the world. You can go to their website and look it up. So even if you don't manage to go to a center, try practicing the noble silence for at least even an hour a day, once a week, and see what effect it has on you. It can be scary, but it can also be very soothing, calming, and liberating. So if you're up to it, go for it. I definitely recommend it. Thank you very much for watching. Until next time, see you. Bye-bye.